Hello, Hottie. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter 7 and the number puppies. Is that okay? Okay. Actually, I am my own sponsor. Today, I am sponsored by myself by the almond roca that I make. I make almond roca. It is an English butter toffee covered in chocolate with almonds, and I put walnuts in there to beef it up. It's the best ever. No one's gonna beat me. No one's gonna beat me. Not the professionals, not any amateurs. It's really, really good. I just wanted to show off the bag. I made 2 of these bags. I need to give away a bunch. I also make the rye bread, the Swedish rye bread for our family dinner. And it's a batch that makes 4 loaves, and I give it away and eat it, of course, and it's carbs, it's gluten, it's whatever, whatever. It's Christmas. Um, Before I start though, let's talk about the spiritual journey. Merry Christmas. I am Trip. This is Real Nature Trip. We do tarot. Ava, who painted this for me, my niece, can't make it over for Christmas. She's on the western side of Washington. There's flooding and weather and road problems, and she probably could have made it, but what's the risk, So I hope she's doing well. What am I talking about? Oh, so I have fairly new neighbors on that side of me. I got these lovely neighbors over here, 3 kids, 50 different creatures living inside between cats and dogs and either ferrets or weasels, I don't know the difference, and snakes, and then other creatures, just tons over there. It's great. This side, it's almost like the 80s, yuppie people with the very sparse, whatever, and kept to themselves. It's just a male-female couple, maybe mid-30s, closing in on 40 at the very oldest. I can't tell. Yeah. 30 to 30 something. It's in 30s. Let's just call it 30s. And I've met the wife twice. She never mentioned a husband. And both times I saw her, she looked like different people. So I thought maybe the second time, maybe her sister was in town for Thanksgiving and fooled me. Anyway, short story long, I decided to give almond roca in a tin, like, hey, present it. A loaf of the Swedish rye bread, because we got 4 loaves. I got to get rid of some. Otherwise, we might want to eat it. A candle from my friend's wife's little business. Little, it's growing. I mean, they're supporting their family on it. And what was the other thing? Oh, the gift that I gave everybody for Christmas. It's a toy, but it's fun. And I got a bunch of them, wrapped them up, and then that's what I'm giving everybody. So I can't give it away right now because we're doing gifts tonight on Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas, Christmas Eve, all that stuff. I will do a little reading tomorrow just for fun, for funsies. Yeah. Oh, anyway, so the husband was there, not the wife. And I had waited for lights to come on in the afternoon to make sure that I caught them. And this was not yesterday, but the day before. I wanted to catch them in case they were leaving town. So I haven't really talked to them. So then all of a sudden I'm knocking on the door. I'm meeting the husband, who, when you open the door to a stranger, you look at them like, what is your business? Hello? You don't give away any emotion, whatever. And I was fine with that. Here I am. And I was dressed in my red sweatshirt and my other cap. I mean, I was dressed just the way I was for the last video, because that's what I wore all day. And and I'm standing out there in the dark with a paper bag, like one of those brown paper gift bags, with a bow on it, a little red bow on it. And I go, hey, I'm your neighbor next door. And da 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 da. I've never met you guys. Hi. I told him my name, and this guy didn't tell me his name. Did shake my extended hand, but like slowly, and then never left the expression of, "Who are you? What do you want?" And because usually if you say, "Hey, da da da, hi, I am so and so," by our connection is this thing, and then the normal reaction, and I'm okay with not normal. The normal reaction is, Oh, that thing. We're somehow connected. Oh, okay. Tell me about yourself. Da, da, da. None of it. None of it. And while I'm getting this really cold, creepy read, I wanted to keep my gifts. I was like, well, maybe I'll pull stuff out, you know? Like, apparently, and it just, the whole thing just dripped of like arrogance and I don't talk to people like you. That's the feeling I got. So then let's investigate all those feelings, right? And the feelings of like, you know, letting myself think that they think they're better than me. Like, come on. You know, like that's the whole part of this game, right? Or a big part of it is cleaning up that mental mess, that identity mess or whatever. But there was some swagger and arrogance just seeping out of this person. And at first I was like, I don't like that kind of person, you know, like that, yeah. And that's fine. It's okay to not like them. But it took me a little while. It took my feathers had to come back down a little. And I mean, I wasn't hurt or anything, but it was just like, dude, what's up? And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be neighbors. Like their property is inside my fence line. Like they to get to the one side of their house, they have to go through my fence. That's how close we are. And we're gonna live next to each other for this is almost like a dorm situation now. Like, oh, who did I get in the room next door or down the hall that he but then I got a little bigger, not bigger, but just out of it a little bit. And I was like, that's this guy's way of dealing with life, you know, and with people. He's not comfortable. Obviously, there's a wound in there somehow. And he's doing it with an air, you know, and an air I never wanted to have. And that I don't doesn't fit my wounds, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, last night, then we had what we call the Corv party, and Corv is K and then the O with the two little dots over it, and then the R and a V, and it's some sort of, I don't even know if it's Swedish or Norwegian. It's a Scandinavian potato sausage, so it's ground beef, ground pork, potato, onion, and then salt, pepper, allspice, and then we pack it in, we mix it all up and pack it into pig intestines, and then we're gonna boil it tonight and eat it. And then the next day we'll cut up the little links and put them flat on and fry them up and have eggs. It's great. And then the rye bread to just sop it all up. So good. I hope you have something that makes you so good and so happy. Oh, that is way too long to talk about my stuff. Anyway, this morning, the 10 of Cups popped into my head, and like something popped into my head a while back, and I couldn't remember anything about the card. And I was like, 10 of Cups, 10 of Cups, and I couldn't visualize it. So I went to the deck, found it, and I was like, oh yeah, that happy ending, look at this happy family, all that stuff. And then, but I pulled the cards before it and after it that it were, you know, it's neighbors. So speaking of neighbors, and that's very interesting. But I want to look at this card closer than I ever have, because that's what starts to make me want to investigate. And if you look, it's a family, right? And they're happy. But when I compare these people, these energies, to the others, they're not wearing any particular hat, right? They're not kings and queens. They're not jesters. They're not some sort of worker. You know, like you can't tell who they are by their hat. And compared to the rest of the deck, they've got short hair, you know, and then their clothes are super modest. Like they're not rags like the Five of Pentacles when they're in the snow trudging by, but they're not robes and cool stuff. These are just the regular people. There's a modest house back there. Yeah, but this is the happy ending. Okay, you know, or the happy life, the fulfilled whatever. And if it's Cups, it's about emotions and feelings, and that really got me thinking about building a life that you want And how do you know you want it? Like, what about it do you want? What is the juice that you want from it? And it's the best answer that I can come up with right now is you want the feeling that that life brings. And I know this sounds a little bit soft, but I think it goes full circle, or it goes back to your original thought about this stuff. Is if you pictured a life way out ahead, say you're young, say you're a little kid and you want to be a fireman, you know, whatever it is. I can't. Fireman just pops in my head, you know, because I think that's a common one for kids. I mean, I grew up as an army brat, so I wanted to be a soldier too, and a cowboy, and anything that had a gun and pretended to die and kill people and all that stuff. I spent too much time doing that. But I think what we're looking for early on when we dream up these dreams is the feeling of what it would be like to live it, right? Like say you dream of all this money, well then you want this feeling of ease and security and fun and, you know, like not having to want, you know, all that stuff. And then we just get busy in our life trying to build and do and make, and we have that vision, whatever it is, and it changes, whatever, but we forget that it's the feeling maybe that we're going for and not the stats. You know, like, oh, what's my number? You know, how much can I bench, and what's my GPA, and how many books did I read, and how many dollars did I make, and the size of the house. Remember when people used to brag about how many TVs were in their house? Oh, that's so grody. Or they used to brag, and then eventually brag about number of bathrooms and bedrooms in their house. And I'm so glad I don't hear that anymore. Anyway, Ten of Cups. The old Ten of Cups was flanked by the King and Queen of Swords. I poop you not. Flanked. So let me show you the whole picture. Flanked by these royal swords. Masculine energy, feminine energy. And the swords, to me, are always like the thoughts. And the Queen of Swords her thoughts and her ideas are so attractive that it draws people in. And the King of Swords, his thoughts are so powerful and so, you know, like agreeable and powerful. Not agreeable, that's the wrong word, but like people it's like they want these thoughts, so it spreads. It's these ideas and thoughts that can spread. And honestly, like, a lot of us we're dealing with these thoughts, right? We're dealing with these thoughts, and we understand the power of thoughts, both good and bad. But I love the balance of the masculine and feminine. It's very swordsy. And that's so swords on both sides of you. And I know they're royal, and then to me, the royalty in this deck is really about that spiritual, like, it's not about building widgets, it's about building a life and the ideas that you need to build this life. And yes, we are tied to our thoughts and our thinking, and I don't want to get into like where those thoughts come from, but they're there and they're a part of us. Just like our gastrointestinal system, you know, you may not be real excited about what's going on in there, but it's very necessary. Oh dear. So because of these three cards, I read them, and I think I understand what's going on here. Follow me. Would you follow me? So let's look at the Queen of Swords. Mature woman who speaks her mind. I identify with this so much now that I'm mature. With perfect clarity, and therefore brings many to her way of thinking, articulation, cleverness, strength, mental acuity, brilliant, lovely. King of Swords, an intellectual, it's describing me again, hello, who is adept at spreading ideas and using available resources to solve problems. Military mind, law, judgment, command, power. When this says military mind, it reminds me of how I used to rake leaves. My father, the army sergeant, taught me how to rake leaves. Start at one side and you just do a row and you push that row, and once you get to the end you accumulate. And yeah, I thought that's how you live your whole life. Okay, brilliant stuff. All the ideas, they're gonna carry you. They're gonna carry you forward. And to me, it's incredible that it's showing this balance. But there's a different balance, and I had to read the whole card. Are you ready? Are you ready for the upside downs? The reverses? Queen of Swords, upended and self-sabotage. Especially the Queen, self-sabotage. Think of masculine energy, feminine energy, and let's think about body weight. And feminine energy, if they gain 10 pounds or lose 10 pounds, they're like, I am a fatter person. I am a thin person. They embody it. Not always the healthiest thing. But the masculine energy treats weight as almost as an outfit. They say terms like, I put on 10 pounds, like they just put on a vest. Oh, I took off 10 pounds. It's not a part of them. Pretty healthy, but also like, you know, your body is you. So yeah, so but with the Queen of Swords upended and self-sabotage, that's where the mind kind of turns in on itself, right? Well, and those thoughts double-edged sword. Look at that. These swords have the edge on both sides. There are swords that have like a flat end and then a sharp end or whatever, a lot of knives or whatever. This sword is double-edged. So all that strength that you get from it is great, but there is the potential to self-sabotage. There is the potential. What's the other word? Self-sabotage is the big one for me because, you know, upended. You can, yeah. On the masculine sword thought energy, idea energy, cruel intentions. So it's flipping that edge to helping others and spreading positive ideas to, you know, like maybe more selfish gains, short-term gains. So I feel like this is telling you happy life is this balance, but this loftiness, you know, holding yourself in a higher height. I might not be reading any more cards. It looks like this is what we're doing. Yeah. But the 10 of Cups, it really is this message. Man, this is another message for me. I hope this is relevant for you. It is, you know, it's your feeling and how this life is not making you feel. The life you're building and how that makes you feel. And reprioritizing, you know, the things that don't bring you joy. Let's not talk about pleasure, like chasing pleasure and whatever. Let's talk about moving toward joy and not the elimination of pain. Pain's gonna come, pleasure's gonna come. Those are stimuli. Joy, I feel like, is more of your state. Peace and joy and love is the that you send out, right? Gosh, tell me more. 10 of Cups. The sky, it's not the bright yellow sky and it's not a dark sky. That's why it's saying, hey, surrounded by swords, and look, you've got light skies. I mean, light gray, but blue. Yeah. This is just joy. This is just joy and not letting your mind get in the way, right? This is a big chunk of the game every time. I don't even know what I would title this one as. I'm starting to think about a title now. We're at 20 minutes just about. You're gonna be royal. Mm-hmm. You know what? We're gonna pull one card from this beautiful Earth Warrior deck. And I'll tell you why. I feel like this is these 3 cards I pulled weren't the message, but it's saying, it's a that is a reminder that what you're really looking for is peace and joy, right? Peace, joy, and love. And that's what's really going to satisfy you. And you're aligning your thoughts with it. That's because we're at the royal. We got royal swords. So this is you're in charge. You're not listening to the negative thoughts, the bad thoughts, the thoughts that tell you that you aren't worthy and deserving of love and all the greatness that Earth has to offer, right? Those thoughts that tell you you aren't real, you must slay them, or just poof them away. Poof. I think about this stuff a lot. Duh. I mean, come on. Oh yeah. All right, one more shuffle. Okay, we're gonna cut. We're gonna go thin to. Oh, I see it. You see that break right there? That's the break. Oh, and that card wants to come up, so that's the card. Amuwada. Sage of Higher Knowledge. Amuwada. I feel like, I don't know, some of the names of these guys all sound the same. Sage of Higher Knowledge. You will distill the drop of wisdom. You will distill the drop of wisdom from a veritable sea of information, opinions, and options. It's mentioning information right there, right? Swords, ideas, the drop of wisdom from them. And that's what we were just saying, double edge. As you hold space with patience, intuition, and As you hold space with patience, intuition will spontaneously arise, providing the necessary flash of insight. Instructional intelligence will support your intuition. I mean, that's what these guys are telling us. Will support your intuition, providing stark and honest gut awareness about the reality of a situation. As you inform yourself and gently assert confidence in your decision-making ability, you will navigate what is unfolding in a constructive manner. Give yourself permission to trust your process and your timing, then act when the way becomes clearly known to you. Ooh, that one's for Momo. Act when the way becomes clearly. You will recognize the right thing at the right moment. Well, thank you, Amuwada. Big old owl. Man, these decks are never short of highlighting some chakras. A lot of green in there though today. A lot of green. Green, is that the heart? Is green the heart when we're talking about the chakra? I don't know. All right, we're at 24 minutes. It's been a pleasure. And it's been, it's been weird because I do everything a little weird. And, oh my gosh, I still haven't said I love you. Did I? I don't know. Do I? Let me look at you. Yeah. Yeah, I love you. You're so great. Thank you for all the beautiful comments. I saw a couple new subscribers lately. We're moving on up. Woo-hoo. And man, I just hope you have a great holiday and whatever it is to you. I know it can be gross. I remember as a kid, you're just excited for the magic of Christmas, but you gotta wade through all the shit of it, the anger and everyone's so unhappy. It's not that way anymore. Not in my family. I mean, little tense here and there from different relationship things and people. But yeah, it's mellow now. And I hope it's loving and whatever for you. Sorry, just had to get that little extra out there. I love you, I love you, I love you, I accept you. Okay, I'll talk to you later. See if I can get that 25.